Get ready to show up with Khoolaid and Sarah. It's the Show Up Show, baby. All right, let's go, baby. It's the Show Up Show. Your homegirl Khoolaid.
And Sarah.
All right, this is going to be a very special episode because we've never done a foursome.
We've never done a foursome.
I
I'm
love
down.
it. I know you are.
We know you're down.
Okay, let them know. You guys introduce yourself because this ain't our show. This is all of our show today.
Yeah.
I'm Concrete.
I'm Damizza.
All right,
Oh.
we're ready to roll. All right, here we have the homeboy Concrete. You guys know comedian extraordinaire, Damizza.
Yes.
For the non-knowers, these are my bros. Like, these are the two that I don't know why I'm letting help direct my life right now, but kind of I would call them my director.
You want to admit that?
I know.
I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful
I mean,
that
'cause
they are running
since-
your life.
Since these two came in my life, we've had some heavy changes.
100%.
But the
I've actually known him before I knew you.
I know.
Oh.
Well, no, it wasn't before. No, it was
Very
not
touchy about
No.
these things.
It was
It
not
hasn't been.
before. No, when Nikki and him came to your house was after.
Oh, well, then it's all a blur.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah, it's all a blur. So you guys have your story too, where you go way back, but we don't need to get in everybody's stories and all that because that's not what I'm here for. What I wanted to sit down and have
What is she here
first
for?
of you two all motherfuckers is I wanted to talk about the fact of what you guys are doing and the energy and the word that we love so much, which is fucking synergy. And I love how you cheerlead me fucking with Damizza so much and how you cheerlead me fucking with Concrete so much since the beginning. Like, you two really haven't had a chance to sit down and talk about the movements you're creating, and I kind of wanted to be the first to bring that shit to the streets. But you two are cheerleading each other right now. And what I don't know if you know, but I think you guys all know, you motherfuckers are doing the same exact shit in the streets, but with different groups of people. And it's so motivating. Let's talk about it. Like, let's go into strategies of fucking Concrete and Damizza and how you guys are so able to share with people and bring everybody together.
D, I'll let you
Go ahead.
first. I'll let you go first.
No, I think we're just the same type of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've known each other so long, and, you know, I mean, and we have a lot of common friends, you know, I mean, and I think this business too has never been so similar, you know, so everything that we kind of do is kind of the same group of people. And, you know, we're seeing each other again and moving in circles that are so similar, and also knowing each other, we kind of inadvertently are doing the same shit.
And I think you guys are similar kind of people, the doers and the people that show up for other people, like we've talked about, the people that are authentic to who you guys are. So it's natural that you would have people in common, and it's natural that you guys would have movements that are simultaneously happening in different places, but at the same time and in the same sort of way that you keep talking about.
Well, and the cool thing, I think, for me, seeing all this right now is that there's where before it's like you had the music industry, you had the comedy industry, you had the film industry. Right now, if we don't bring all these industries and all these creatives together to one platform, there's no financial ecosystem there.
Well, in the entertainment business, and I may be wrong, I mean, it seems like it's never been so alike. You know, I mean, the streaming platforms and all of that, it seems like the comedians, from what I can see, do you guys have a union?
No.
Like, it seems like you guys are kind of in the same position we are, the health insurance challenges and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, they seem similar.
Yeah, I mean,
Artists.
I think, you know, if it wasn't for like obviously social media now, right? A lot of it, like, you've been in the radio industry, music industry for a long time. I was in the film industry. We knew what we were doing, but there was no connection to it because we couldn't see what was going on, right? You were doing your thing, I'm doing mine. Yeah, you may see, but now that it's like social media is prevalent, and it's like in any business, if you don't have social media, it's really difficult. I think now it's like, oh, okay, now I see where we can connect more dots than before, because now I know what you got going on a daily,
Yeah.
you know? And social media, I think, allows for us now to connect those dots from industry to industry, as opposed to be a little harder before. You know, you would have to be solely in that industry to know what's going on. And now it's like you can have a sort of less a clear window of what's going on the other side. You know.
Dude, and
Yeah.
one thing that I saw, and
Crazy.
I know I mentioned it to you one time, is I was walking through an airport one time, and you were coming off of a plane, and I was just about to get on a plane, and I saw there was a crowd of people following you, like, oh my God, that's Concrete. And I was just
I
like,
love
my
that
boy
for
doing
him.
great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
seeing
"Hey,
that
friend."
along with everything, it just
Yeah.
kind of reaffirms, like, you
Yeah.
know. So I mean, it's great to see your friends do well. You know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
not.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the difference too between my friends that I'm just taking in is the fact that it's like a lot of this stuff happening on social media and being out here on social media. I know it's crazy. I won't name them and put them on blast, but like when I saw the new way people are doing the ad and stuff, I came out and wanted to go see somebody I saw on social media that I felt like, oh, I should have known them. I should link up with them. And I went to a spot that they were claiming to be at on social media. And it's like, it was cracking in their video. And then I walk in and the restaurant's dead and they're not in there. And I'm like, okay, so is this what we're doing? A bunch of unreal shit? I mean, that's why it's not translating. And that shit like broke my heart. But then I see people like you guys, or I have people like you guys where I see what you guys are doing really is resonating. Sometimes you scare me with the people that reach out to us and are trying to connect through what you're doing. You scare the shit out of me with just all the love. It's like so overwhelming that you're getting, and to see you doing it at the level, it's real. What you guys are doing is authentic. You're not painting this picture that's not there. And I think that
And
that's
you too. You scare me, for the record.
Oh, thanks.
Just if we're claiming what we're scared of, you scare me too. So.
Is that because I'm out in the streets?
'cause you're out in the streets.
you scare me, bro.
He's
Yeah.
scared.
No, but it's just you
I
guys.
want to relate.
You guys aren't some filtered bullshit.
Right.
Like what
Right.
what you guys are doing is real.
Right.
What you guys are doing for people is real, and your outreach in the industry is
Yeah.
real.
That's why it's having the effect it's having, because it's authentic and
Yeah.
it's real and it's coming from that place.
Yeah.
Versus the
How do you
show.
feel about like when D came with me? Oh my God, Con. So at first, Damizza scared the shit out of me. I was like, mad rapper, dude. He's gonna get mad. Like when we sat down, we went and we sat down at Marmalade Cafe, and Grandma had just died, and you know where I was at too. I couldn't even figure shit out. I was like, I don't know what I gotta do with my life. We're sitting there at the table, and I said to him, "Why are you even crying or whining? You're Damizza. You just need to show up." And this motherfucker, he sure showed up for us. And I was watching him show up and I'm thinking, oh my God, he sounds crazy. Oh my God, he's crazy. He's a mad rapper. Like I was so scared. But then I started getting it and I started seeing it. And I'm like, oh my God, he's really onto something. And he's like, we're going to start a union. And I'm like, we're going to what?
Sure, okay.
He's like, we're going to start a union.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that? I think that's real. The comedy circuit has no union. How is that happening? How is there no medical? How is there no education of retirement? How is there no, I know that you're gung-ho just because it's the easiest thing to swallow right now is the medical portion of it. But as the record exec you are, I would say I'm more of a creative. How is it fair that the record labels are in there negotiating the deals with iTunes and with Spotify for the artists so that the artists can't see shit in the end? They can make what the number is on that, but then get other back ends that have nothing to do with the music streaming financially from these forms. How is this happening? How does music have no union?
Well, I mean, the commonality in comedians and creators and music people is we're all artists.
It's
You know what I'm
entertainment.
saying? And
Right.
going back to the Chitlins and vaudeville, they have always kept us separated and kept us from forming a union for specifically that reason.
Right.
Is to continue extorting and exploiting and taking advantage of the creativity that they post no value on. You know what I mean? The business people. And I think that's another place where we all relate is we're finally, with social media, like Khan said, and all
Yeah,
these other
that was
things,
crazy.
we're all seeing what each other
Others
is
doing.
going through
Yeah.
and have gone through.
Right.
Like when I saw, the comedians recently when we were at the Laugh Factory and stuff like that, and I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, these guys are, go through the same thing rappers or singers or whatever going through the dressing room, lights, show, set, comedy, it's
No, and it's the
all-
same dude. It's the same shit, bro. Like a lot of people like, I'm basically a rapper that made it independently. You know what I'm saying? Like I use social media as my auditioning platform. That's my NBC, that's my Fox, that's my channel. And I think
That's interesting. No, I
like
audition.
yeah, like that's my auditioning tape. Like that is right
Cool.
there. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people you know, like that's the way you gotta see social media. Like, you
Right.
gotta stop waiting for the labels or anything. Dog, that's you don't need to go to the label. Like with all the platforms we have now,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And what I tell people is like, dude, as long as you create like music, you know, like music, just like a comedian or whatever the case may be, like you need to brand it, you know. And as soon as you brand, because that's what the labels are good at doing. They're good at
Branding part.
they're good at branding and developing, which they're not doing anymore, right? They usually
Right.
want turnkey projects now, but for the most part, that's what they've been known to do, which is, you know, make it in sync or make a Britney Spears or make a Eminem. Like they're great at branding,
Mm-hmm.
Packaging.
at
Creating a
packaging, and
product.
once you package
Yeah.
independently, you
Right.
don't fucking need it. Like,
Right.
you know, I feel like I'm a threat to the norm of the entertainment world because I'm doing this shit independently from the ground up.
yeah.
Like
Right.
it's
Right.
there's we're not being fed by by a big agency or nothing
Right.
like that. Like
Or created by them.
or created by them, you know. Which also at the same time, I could be bigger if I was signed to a major.
Mm.
But could you at this point?
But would you? No, I mean,
But
no.
could you at this point? Like, really?
Well, you know,
Could you at this point with the way everything's so diluted?
well, and you know, what I love about it, not to switch subjects or whatever, is this era of entertainer is about sharing game. You know, for so long the
Yeah.
gatekeeping and so long
Yeah.
of keeping everybody separated and all this kind of stuff. You know, like for instance, Khan came to the synergy marketing thing,
Mhm.
and Big Boy said something to me like, "Oh, you know, something about Khan, what he said about social media and the hashtag thing.
Mhm.
You know how he doesn't use hashtags. I learned something there.
Yeah.
You know, so
so did
there's
I.
just this huge like movement of game. You know,
Right.
and to go back to what he was saying or tie it in is the structure is changing. The
Mm.
artist and the creator are now in control. That's why we can say the word union and not have
Be
like
blacklisted.
blacklisting and I mean
Right.
all of this kind of stuff. So I mean it's never been more free for artists and more
Yeah.
platforms for artists if you know how to use it. And that's what's dope right now is whether you're in comedy or whether you're in music or whether you're in movies or anything, everybody's finally sharing the game and feeling comfortable they can
Yeah.
Right.
without repercussion.
You know, and when you were talking about the majors, I mean, really at that point, all they were doing was controlling the narrative because they could control the narrative because there were very few
They had the money
outlets.
to.
And they had the
Yeah,
money
and they had the money
and the
to,
power.
and there were very few outlets.
You don't-
But now with the opening of all the outlets, there's no longer the room to control that narrative.
Well, and the
Yeah.
biggest facade of the entertainment business is that it's making money.
Mm.
I mean, it's not the entertainment
No, the only
business.
one making money right now is Concrete.
Right.
But
Shit.
but wait a
How do
minute.
we get in on
but
this,
it's from
Concrete?
organics. It's
Yeah.
the live shows.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the
Right.
merch.
Right.
It's and I may be wrong. I mean, but
Dude,
I'm not trying to get all in your pockets,
no,
man.
no, no,
but
no, but it's true. I mean, dude, look, like
it's
I'm
a super fan.
it's not about like I'm not making money off the views. Like you're making money. I'm making money the old school way, bro.
Right.
The old school way, the merch, and not necessarily making money off the meet and greet because I don't charge for the meet and greet, but I'm hoping that they buy the t-shirt at least. You know what I'm saying? So that's just really grassroots. Like that's just, dude, that goes back to, I don't know, 50, 60 years of entertainment and
Right.
people doing this. So I'm not doing nothing. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm playing the game by the rules,
Right.
and I'm not cheating it. Not just because I have close to 800,000 followers doesn't mean you're gonna sell tickets.
Yeah.
Close to
You know what I'm saying?
800,000 followers.
It doesn't mean you're gonna
Right.
sell
Well, and
tickets.
that's the thing that trips me out. For
Right.
you, it resonates, but you've got kids. I've seen kids out there with 1.5 million,
Mhm.
but it doesn't resonate to bodies shown, especially
doesn't-
with a lot
no.
of this younger audience.
No, not at
No,
all.
because no,
Talking about that.
no, because a lot of it is like you don't either the content is not original, the content is yeah, you can have the followers and all that, but either they're not connecting with you on a certain level. There's
Yeah.
Right.
there's no connection between you and the viewer and the artist or the comedian or the rapper. Like there's plenty of rappers that are dope ass rappers, but
Right.
people just don't show up for their shows, and that has nothing to do with their music. It's that there's no
There's a
connection
lack
there.
of
It's the
connection there.
human
Yeah,
part.
it's the
So that
human
Yeah.
comes back to
It's
what
the
we're
human part.
trying
It's the
to
human
do with the
attraction
Show Up
part.
Show.
Yeah.
And that's
Is
what I was saying about like the airport.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the
You
human
know,
part,
you're
right.
seeing the
Right.
reaction in public. Oh, he's not just a social media star. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy can't walk through a freaking airport without
Right.
getting mobbed.
And
You know
not
what
just
I
that,
mean?
but
Like,
he's who he is on his social media. You're authentic to who you are. So it isn't this act that happens and then in person it doesn't translate and there's no connection like we were talking about. It's who you are. It's part of who you are. So when you then meet with people, they're like, oh, this is real. And then that connection does happen and then it stays.
and to swing it back, I think that's why we get along and why we have such common friends is that's just
Who you
our
are.
authenticity kind
right.
of. You know
What
what I
was your
mean?
turning
right.
point to start turning the camera on?
Hmm.
You know, like no, you know,
Yeah.
I was looking at the narrative, and one day it was almost like a confessional kind of thing,
Yep.
where I had seen some interviews. I'd say, "Oh, that's the narrative that's going on." Somebody told me I was blacklisted.
Hmm.
You know, someone said, you know, I had done.
Well, that's
Well, you kind
I
of
guess that's where
were.
I'm going with it, right? Because
Yeah.
you've been so attached to, you know what I'm saying, big brands, right? Like you've been attached to big brands and the networks and all this stuff. To I'm sure some people feel like, yo, dog, what are you doing, my dude?
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a couple calls like, yo, my dude,
Oh yeah, you have
my
from the
guy,
figures,
can
like,
you
you're-
not? Can you not, my G?
Yeah.
Can you?
What?
So I think what was the turning point of not you necessarily getting the camera? Was the turning point of now you're on the other side of the table and now you're fighting for this guy?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that comes from struggling as an artist. I mean, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I'm a record producer. I'm an artist. I'm a creative.
Well, you were
being.
always fighting. He was all in fairness,
Yeah.
he was always fighting. He was the one guy in the building that was always fighting for this
Well, I
guy.
guess what I'm
Like,
saying is the narrative in and also camera, right? Because you
Yeah.
can
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can fight the fight though, and you can fight it quietly, and you can fight it
Right.
on your own terms.
Yeah.
But
To do it publicly.
to actually do it publicly,
Yeah.
now that's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To actually say like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna," because once you go publicly, though, you're basically putting your neck on the guillotine.
No,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, I
Yeah,
think
there's
what
no
it
turning back.
was a little bit of the pushback. Like when I
Yeah.
would say something, someone would go, "There's no way you could have done that," or "There's no way you could have said that." So I'd be like, "Motherfucker,"
But it's real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Show you.
real, and this is what I went through, and it was just it. That's the one thing about social network that I like is some people complain that you know you got haters or online gangsters or da 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 da, but I kind of feed off that shit. You know what I mean? I just treat everybody like a real person. You figure out whether they're a bot like that. You know what I mean? So. I don't know. I think that was the transition. It was a natural evolution of every morning just getting up and showing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pressing the button, and then the next I see some comments, I respond to the comments. Somebody replied or reposted, I said thank you and told a story about that person, and then it just kind of snowballed.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't think there was ever like a cognizant thought
Conscious
about
choice to
it
do
or a
it.
constant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just. Concrete reposted my shit. Oh, let me tell you a story about Concrete. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, and Dame said it too. It's like things get fucked up whenever we try and plan anything.
Right.
Like really, it's the
Stay in the
universe
moment.
staying in the moment and timing, and that's what I've learned to do with
the
him.
rabbit hole. I stay out of the rabbit hole.
And he always keeps me out of the rabbit hole of the what
Yeah.
ifs and the which I think is really important for anybody, whatever industry you're in.
Well, I always think like we always perceive how things are gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes if it doesn't happen, and more times than not, it doesn't, we set these imaginary goals on our way to another goal. You know what I mean? But if that pylon or that checkpoint isn't there, then we freak out in the moment to try to get ourselves back on course. And to get back on course with these steps that don't exist, you're just kind of making it up as you go anyway. So why not just stay in the moment, set a goal?
Right.
Of course,
Right.
kind of know where you're going to go.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what I'm saying? It's okay to get lost every once in a while and take the back roads, but
Mhm.
you know where you're ending up.
And-
Keep your compass about you.
Yeah, and
you know
let
what I mean?
let the universe and natural momentum direct it. That's what he's good at. It's like take a breath. Like
Well, I mean, look at GPS even. You know what I mean? You set your course sometimes on GPS, and sometimes it sends you to Egypt. You know what I mean? Like it's not always right, and sometimes you got to get lost to find your way.
For sure.
And you learn things
And that
way.
GPS will always give you that common that common way to get there, and that common way to get there is jammed up, dog.
Always.
So if you deviate a little bit,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you create your own way there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it might take you a little bit longer,
Or not.
or not, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
who knows?
Because we got that a lot. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No,
we
no,
got
please.
that a lot from different agencies and different big ones, where it was like, it's either you sign with us, man, or you take the long route. And damn, to hear those kind of agencies tell you that, you're like, man, you guys do control this shit, huh, man, to
Yeah.
some degree.
Right.
Got it.
And
Right.
even watching,
Right.
and even watching your journey, though, I don't think that you would have the connection that you do with the audience that you do and how you do if it was done by an agency.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because the path that you took to get here was a long and relationship building path
Yeah.
with
Absolutely.
a core fan base.
Yeah.
And
And what
they've known you.
I did was like, I stood my ground even when I decided to do stuff with, say, like, big brands. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do my comedy, man. I'm not gonna clean it up just because this is this brand. Like, I'm gonna do Concrete, and if you don't want that, then that's cool, because I was always more first about the integrity of my comedy and what people like from me than me switching it up and being like, oh, let me clean this up for this brand.
Well, and you
Because
do
then
it-
people are gonna be like,
He's selling out for the brand.
He cleaned it up for the brand.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, don't
Right.
do that.
Well,
dog.
and
Right.
most of all, the people wouldn't watch it, and that's what you do with
Right.
that is
Right.
just
Yeah.
it's authentic. And
yeah.
like what I was gonna say, and I think I've told you this before, is like the thing you do with McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, it's so freaking authentic.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
so
I mean?
funny.
Like
Yeah.
the fact that, a company like that, you know what I mean? Like whether, however the relationship is, it's dope. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
you actually
Yeah.
have real eyes on it because of that.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
nobody's
Because
watching,
it's real,
nobody's
right.
checking for those
Exactly.
Well,
commercials.
and I think
But they're
people-
entertaining. It's
Yeah.
so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like your McDonald's, AV Chevy, you have made him a complete
Oh, yeah, that's
character.
a-
Like
Yeah.
he's a star
Yeah.
himself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But you can picture yourself when Khan is doing the French fry machine or something like that. You can picture yourself
doing
in
it.
that position
Yeah.
saying what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of the whole thing too, is we all can relate to each other in this moment.
Right.
Well, and I think that's the future change and momentum of really where the brands need to go. The brands are going to have to work a little harder to individually find these people that they want to connect and stick to, because for them to get the eyes, it's not with that maths.
Well, and think about the
stuff anymore.
corporation.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like McDonald's working with a Concrete is making a great connection to a real community where these advertising campaigns are just broad strokes of a brush.
Right.
Getting lost.
But you're doing core branding and marketing,
Right.
especially with that franchise in that area, in
Yeah.
that core market. So that's core branding and marketing to a fucking T.
So then
And
how do
locked
we
in for life.
navigate that then and get the brands and talent? How do we create more of a streamlined system? Because Khan and them have done it by a lot of hard work, a lot of knocking of doors and building the relationships, but how do we create that for talent where they might not have that side of their brain working
I
to
think it's just time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We're already doing it. I mean, look at this synergy. I mean,
Right.
you wouldn't see normally a comedy guy and a rap producer working together behind the scenes to bring their teams together. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we don't even have to have that discussion. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wasn't like
Exactly.
Khan and I would, let's run this play real quick.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing.
There's no ulterior
There's no
motives behind
sinister
it. Right. There's
plot.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do a
Right.
world takeover.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. No, it's
you know,
your
it's
authenticity and
genuine.
truth.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Absolutely.
yo, grab your camp, I'll grab mine. Let's get together and do this real quick.
Yeah.
If Khan calls me and says, yo, I got this thing I need you to be at, boom, I will be the first one there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's open and sharing the information too and working together. And that's why I wanted to bring you two together for this episode, was because the synergy of all of it. And
Yeah.
for whatever fucking reason you two believed in me out of the gate.
the other night, Skippy said something interesting to me. He goes, when I came to the comedy show, which was fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like seeing everybody there. He's like, yo, you're going out to a comedy show in Hollywood. You're driving from Santa Barbara to the, and I'm like, yeah, you're coming too. It's going to be a blast. We're going to go support Khan. Oh, it's Khan's thing? Yeah, bams. Oh, you can't make? Oh, no. Bugsy, you come. You know what I mean? Like, we got an extra seat. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No
Oh,
questions
yeah, it was
asked.
great. You know,
Yeah.
he came to our thing. We're going to go to his thing.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Nah.
And that's what it is, just the energy of all of us
Showing up.
coming
It's
together
showing up.
and not being scared to share your team, not being scared to share your information with the people you believe in. So
Yeah.
let's go. I admire you
fun.
guys for doing that and creating that energy. And how can other creators help with that type of movement?
watch.
Watch.
What do you mean? Other creators help with what? What we're trying to
The
create?
growth. Yeah, and just share. Not be afraid to share. Not be afraid to share information. Not be afraid to share audience. How could you guys encourage that as somebody that a lot of creators look up to? You know, I come off
Show them the fruits of it.
Yeah. Learn from it because we're learning
Show them
from
the
each
fruits
other.
of it, right? Like
You're
it's
still willing to learn from each
Yeah.
other,
Well,
even when you're established.
I
you're
love
still
this.
willing
I
to
love where
learn.
you're going, Con. I want
Yeah.
you to finish that thought.
yeah. You just show them the fruits of what happens when you do stuff organically, when you do stuff because you want to do it and willing or not have an ulterior motive, right?
Right.
Show people the fruits of how things can be built and be stronger by doing it with the right intentions and doing it because you really want to do it and you belong in this position, as opposed to something that's very fragile. There's a saying like when the house is weak within, it will fall.
Mm.
So you got to make sure the people that you're doing is with, that you're creating with, are strong enough. Everybody has to be a pillar. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And as long as we understand that, and when people can see the fruits of it, then they'll follow. Nobody wants, the reason why people like, wear the chains is so people can see the fruits of what the fuck they've done. And people look at that like, hey man, I remember being on the hood and being like, dude, the dude with the nice car is because, he's selling dope.
Yeah.
He's whatever the case, but he
Yeah.
has, you can see the fruits of it. And people like to see that. People are attracted to success, right? So I think if we keep doing this and people see the fruits of just everybody coming together, they'll be more willing to come to the table without any like
Go.
reservations or,
Right.
or
And another thing is, social media or, life today, everybody, maybe the companies or whatever the narrative is that they push on us is how different we are,
Mm.
and be afraid of this or be afraid of that.
Right.
Where it's not reality. You know what I mean? When we get together, it's like I'm playing Dig Dug. He's telling me about Snoop Dogg records. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're talking about. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're just relating on some regular shit. You know what I mean? And just showing that, hey, we're all regular. We're all the same. There's more commonalities than there
There
are
is.
differences
Oh yeah.
between all of us.
Right.
And at the end of the day, let's get together, let's have a beer, and let's talk shit about whatever we talk shit about.
Well, it's so
And-
funny because even though I'm in the like whenever I see you post stuff about music, I still feel like I'm in it to some degree. Like I still feel like I should
You
have
are.
I
You
I
are.
feel like I should have an opinion because
Right.
I did put in my word.
Rapper.
It didn't work out for me, but
But I'm still a
But I
rapper,
still
damn
it
it.
did though.
but I still have an opinion. We talk about like the union, or how Spotify is not paying people, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like we should all just sell your hard drives. Go the independent route, direct to consumer. Like fuck all this shit. Just the same way we're
Do you
doing
feel
it.
that?
But see,
So do you
that-
feel
but
what
see,
he's
but
saying
that-
is?
but
Do
listen
you
to what
feel
he
like
said.
Yeah.
right? That's what I want. I
Like
want.
we're
This is
doing it.
these big
Like
things.
we're
So,
doing it.
so like we're doing it exactly. So
Mm.
do you feel like we should all be going direct to consumer on the music side?
Yes, hell yeah. We've given Spotify too much power. We've given they made us feel like we don't have no other way of getting our music out there.
Right.
They've devalued us.
They,
our art.
they literally made us feel like, oh, I have no other place but to put it on Spotify and go to YouTube. When no, the fuck you don't.
Hmm.
No, you don't. You can sell your flash drive. You can sell your CDs. Do whatever. If your shit is hot, people will consume it however
However they
you
need to.
prepare it
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why there's a restaurant where you can go get talk shit to. Because if you want to get talked shit to by your waiter, you can go do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's however you serve it is however they're gonna take it. So if
Absolutely.
your shit is hot and people like if say Lefty Gunplay right now or Roddy Rock said, hey guys, my next album, it's gonna be on a flash drive, it's gonna be $15, they're gonna see the return on the investment immediately. And they're going to be like, I don't have to wait for Spotify to send me a $300 check. I just made $300 in 5 minutes selling my fucking hard drives in the parking lot because I did a pop-up. You imagine if Rowdy or Lefty did that. Dude, they would make $100,000 overnight like this. If they just said, my next shit, I'm not putting it on Spotify. I'm going to put it on this hard drive. Y'all come and I'm going to sign your hard drive. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sign I'm only making 1,000 of these.
Well, that's Capone's model.
That's-
Capone gets
yeah.
out in an RV, the high power, they get out in the RV and they just do market visits
Because he's
and slang CDs.
because he's from that era.
Yeah.
These kids don't understand that era.
Right.
But they don't understand it because it doesn't make money yet to them.
Well, and it's not instant gratification.
It's not instant, but if they saw it, if they said, "Hey, look, man, we're gonna take you to this parking lot. We're gonna do a pop up. You're gonna make 20 G's right now." They're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah! What other cities can we go to?
Yeah.
Where else can we do this pop up today?"
Yeah.
And you can look at your analytics.
It's right
in
there.
Instagram.
It's right there.
And that's one of the things he brought up at the seminar that I went, oh, okay, wait a minute. Like your analytics will tell you where you're hot and what cities and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you don't gotta.
It's the workout for you.
And that's what the labels do, right? That's like the labels look at all those analytics, but it's like it's all available
Data.
to you now. It's all available to you. People, people say, "Oh man, that dude blew up because of that." Like, yeah, I blew up on the free app that you had the opportunity to get on as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any crazy advantage. I used the same platform that was available to you.
And you did it with hella kids.
Hella bills.
Hella bills.
Hella
Hella
bills.
kids.
And hella telemarketer calls and all kinds of shit, But yeah, I think artists should take the approach of what comics are doing, with the Alfreds, with the Renee Vacas, with the Ken Flores's, with the Ralph Barbo. They're putting on their own fucking tours,
Yeah.
share notes and share game because
they're putting on their own
You know what I
tours.
mean?
They're putting
That's
on
what
their
we
own
do.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they want to get Netflix, they can get Netflix deals. But I think artists should take back their powers, bro.
Yeah.
And so
that was the commercial right there. That was the audition tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix wanted it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm cool.
555 3
Nah.
4 2 1.
You wouldn't say no to
I'd rather take a TV show than offer a stand up. No, I'd rather take a TV show, a series,
Manifestation is real, homeboy.
the longer play,
Yeah.
the longer play.
Do you believe in
Longer play.
manifestation?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. Because whenever I write a script, I'm like, I'm gonna create it, and then I've done it a few times already. So it's like,
Yeah.
to me, it's like writing a thought, a thought on a piece of paper, or writing a script. That's like, yeah, it's like, it's just it's all in here. But now when you see it play out, that's
Right.
manifestation to the max. You're creating. You know what they say. You know how you can tell the future? By creating it.
Yeah. They make,
Mm.
manifestation.
Like that.
Create your future. That's how you can tell it.
Yeah.
They make it into a mystical thing, manifestation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
abstract
some-
idea. Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's that. It's setting a goal and keep
Yeah.
working to that goal. And sooner or later, it will happen
Yeah.
if you don't give up. I mean,
Sure.
and I think everybody here,
Yeah, manifestation is like a
It's like
mythical
going to
word,
college.
It's like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
if you
Right.
commit to college, you do the work, sooner or later, you will graduate.
Right.
Consistency and repetition breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds a relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship breeds teamwork or synergy. Synergy wins games. And that can be with anything.
Anything.
Yeah, anything. Yeah,
And
man,
we're
yeah.
winning up in here. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I just wanted to, all this was me wanting to drop the mic and have my fucking world premiere. The two of you first before anybody got it.
It's the
And
same
That's our
thing.
hands on
yeah.
It's all been the same thing.
Yeah. So
I have an event, con comes, you support, tell me to show up, you're here, everybody, same thing. You have an event, I show up, share game. And we don't even need to compare notes. We're always comparing notes, whether it be through social media or even comments,
yeah.
Right.
back and forth in our,
Right.
Well,
I dig that. Okay, cool. That note to self. Keep pushing.
Well, I
You
look
know?
forward to being a
Yeah,
part of
love
what
that.
both of you guys are creating and being a part of the change in this new world order of an entertainment industry.
Honor to work
Yes.
with you, bro.
Big dog.
And I'm glad I got to have you guys sit
Yes.
down together. And thank you guys. Thank you
Yes,
guys for
thank
not
you.
only inspiring me, but inspiring the change. Let's
go.
go. It's the show up. Show.
Get ready to show up with Khoolaid and Sarah. It's the Show Up Show, baby.